All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just get started since it's 5 after. And first off, hi, welcome. Happy that you guys are here. I know a lot of us are really busy, so it will try not to be incredibly long and give you plenty of time to ask any questions. I really apologize for the autofocus feature on my camera that just keeps making me blurry and making me not blurry. If I could fix it, I would, but it just doesn't like me. I tried all afternoon to figure out how to turn it off, and I could not successfully do that. So we are going to be talking about how to get started with your Perfectly Posh business, or how to get restarted, or just jump back into things and really get your business going again. So one of the big things that I do want to mention is to always tune into Tuesday trainings. If you haven't had a chance to check out today's Tuesday training, you definitely should. I watched the videos just a few minutes, not a few minutes, but about an hour ago after I finished dinner while my child was running around the house being crazy, and was able to pick up quite a few awesome things to share with you guys, and that are just going to be good tools for my business too. So Tuesday trainings are absolute asset. They're going to be on Posh Talk, and usually you'll find them in an event page on, I think, the Team Gorgeously Posh page, the company page. I think Megan's still doing that. I'm not sure. I'll double check. But either way, Perfectly Posh on Posh Talk does an event for it where they have all the videos listed, and you can go in and watch them. Most of them aren't really long. They're like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, sometimes less than that. A really big thing that came out of those videos today was just an overall kind of mindset. And that is just to train yourself to be more positive. It's a hard thing to do. We live in a really negative world, and people are always constantly finding ways to put themselves down, and finding ways to tell themselves that they can't do something. It's much harder to train ourselves to say, no, I can. I can do that. I can be the best. I can hit my goals. I can do this. Because there's always a lot of resistance. No matter what you do, you're always going to come into contact with that. And training yourself to be on the positive side and to kind of rewire your brain to think, I can do it versus I can't, is actually really hard. And it takes a lot of time and practice. Well, maybe not so much time, but it does take a lot of dedication. So one of the easiest ways it was mentioned in Tuesday training was to write on a sticky note the things that, if you think a negative thought, write the positive thought on a sticky note and stick it somewhere. So if you're like, I suck at getting PB, write on a sticky note, I'm the boss at getting PB, and stick it somewhere where you're going to see it on a daily basis, whether it's on your Posh wall of fame, or your Posh board, or your refrigerator, or your mirror in the bathroom, somewhere that will help you do that. And I like incorporating that into your daily life too, because sometimes, there are things that we could all use a little reminder of. So, stick on a sticky note, I'm beautiful the way I am, and put it on your mirror. So you see it every morning. It's a positive note, and every time you see that positive note and you read that positive thought, you're going to think that positive thought, and it's going to, continue to spread throughout the rest of your life, because it'll be a direct influence. It is training your brain. You really have to do it. And it does make a huge difference. You might not think it does in the beginning, but over time, you really start to notice yourself being on a more positive uptrend. Something might come along, and that's what life does, and it might set you back, and you'll be like, oh, hey, that's okay. I can handle it. Here's the silver lining. So being able to find that and get your mind in that mindset is essential, because when you're first starting out, there's a lot of excitement. You're excited, and everybody sees your excitement, and that pulls it in. And then if you can't keep that positivity and that excitement going, things kind of slow down, and then you might be tempted to start thinking those negative thoughts. And so you need a pick-me-up, something to get you re-amped and to continually get you to think, okay, hey, yes, I can do this. Because you can do it. You know, if I can do it, if Amanda can do it, if your uplines can do it, everybody can do it. It is possible. Is it difficult sometimes? Heck yes. Is it scary? Oh my gosh. There are many times where it is a roller coaster, but it's totally worth it and you can totally do it. So make sure you check out the rest of Tuesday trainings because there are some other awesome tips and tricks in there too that are going to tie into the rest of this call. So my biggest thing is if you can dream it, you can achieve it. So that is what I have to say on Tuesday training. And there's a lot more in the videos that were covered this week. So that was just the big takeaway that I got by watching the videos myself. One of the main things that I do want to talk about when you're getting started, you know, of course you have your Academy videos. You want to watch those and get up to date on those. You have your polka dotted guide. You want to read that and make sure you know it from front to back, or at least know where the things are in it so that if you have a question, you know where to look in the book. I'm not going to go through all of those because those resources are there. Finding time might be hard, but, you know, set aside 5 minutes out of the day and at least look at some of the Academy videos or look at something in your polka dot guide to help you get yourself familiarized with your business. The more you know about it, the easier it's going to be for you to share it and talk to other people about it. You know, you might not have the answer all the time, but a lot of the general questions that people are going to ask you are going to be answered in the Academy videos and in the polka dotted guide. And then if you still are stumped, you have the team pages, and you can always go to the team page and say, hey, I'm stumped. And we can help you out with that. But make sure you check the search function first and see if it hasn't already been asked, because a lot of those questions, I guarantee you someone has already had that issue and has already asked it. And if you type in the search bar just some keywords, usually it'll pop up. And then if you're unsuccessful, of course, we're all always here to help each other out. But I have noticed lately a lot of my particular new teammates have been having an issue with some of the perks, the perk system itself. Perks are covered in day 8 of the Academy, but it doesn't go into a real in-depth look. It gives you the basic generalities of how perks work. One thing you really need to know is when you start hosting, usually your first party is your launch party, and that's you, and you're already signed up, you already have perks. But when you start expanding your reach and you start doing parties with people who may not have purchased from you yet, or who you've just met and they're like, oh yeah, I want to throw a party, and you get everything set up, they might not have a perks account yet. And you want to encourage them to sign up for the perks account first so that you can get, you can make sure you have the same email that you're using for the party, because that is how they get their hostess rewards. The hostess rewards are perks. We don't have half off items or anything like that anymore. They were all replaced by the perk system. And the great thing about perks is they don't have to be used at the end of the party. They can keep them and use them whenever they want. I think they have a 2-year time expiration. I think that's what it is. If I'm wrong, correct me, Amanda, but I'm pretty sure it's 2 years, except for birthday perks, which expire at the end of the month of the birthday month that they have. Yeah. Anyway. So if they're asking and they're like, okay, well, you know, what are my hostess rewards? Then you let them know, oh, it's perks, and it's 6 perks per dollar spent in your party until you hit 200, 10 perks per dollar spent after 200. And those perks are actually added to the hostess's account as you check out the carts. So if you check out a cart before the party ends, because we can do that, then those perks are going to disappear from the hostess bar at the top, and they're going to go and bank into her account. So you won't see them listed in the hostess cart anymore. That doesn't mean that she didn't get them or they didn't get them. It means that they've gone to their account and can now be used. Let's see. If they don't sign up for an account ahead of time, then you can still create the party and use their information in their email. They'll just need to make sure they register that email address as soon as possible. All of the perks are going to be attached to that email, and it'll be kind of just sitting there in limbo until they finish the registration process and actually make an account and log in. So for anybody who's not familiar, hopefully that makes sense. And if it doesn't, then just, shout it out and let me know. And we'll definitely can chat more about that. The other big thing is that perks, if they are used on any item, whether it covers the full amount of the item or not. So if they use $1 on a $20 item, they use 100 perks on it to make it 19, you get no PV at all on that item. None. So if you're looking at the cart and you're like, why did I only get, $10 in PV, but they had, more than that in their cart, and you see that they used some perks, but it was only on one item and it didn't cover the full amount, we don't get PV on the rest of the amount of the item. It's just automatically 0 PV. So that will be another difference that you'll see. It's one of the reasons why you want to start out early, kind of training your customers to bank those perks and save them to use them for exclusive items like the specialty kits that they've been putting out recently, which are pretty cool, and the specialty scrub, the apricots, and the amazing. And the sooner you start talking to them about, oh hey, all these cool items you can get, but you can only get them with perks, so you need to save those perks, that will help you in the long run, because you want to train them to not use 100 perks on a $20 item every single time. Instead, they want to either get the item all together outright, or they want to bank them and get them with their the specialty items out of the perks store. So yeah, that is my little tidbit on perks, because a few people have seemed to be just a little bit confused about that aspects of the perk system. Let's see, what else is important that is not covered in the Academy? If you are just starting out, one of the main things that you really want to work on getting up and running is either VIP page or business page. I have both. I prefer both. It's up to you, really. You can choose which ones you want. But a VIP page is amazing for rewarding repeat customers, people who book with you, keeping in constant contact with them. I also use my VIP page to run sales, which you can't do on a business page, because your VIP page has to be at a secret status in order to run like any kind of special, because you cannot be advertising prices lower than what Posh has, or discounts that or sales specials that they're not doing that other people can see. So you can do it in your own group, but it has to be at a secret status, so that the whole world can't see it and think that Posh is doing it as well. A business page is great for keeping in touch with people who you may have met with parties, and they didn't purchase with you, but they might have tried a sample, and you want to be able to keep in contact with them outside of the follow-up information that you already have, and have a way to give them new information. The business page is great for that. It's also great for just general marketing purposes, so that people can see that you're a business owner and you own your own business and you're serious about it, because you can link it back to your profile. And then I do that too, because I share most of my Posh stuff on my business page, and I try to keep my personal page a little limited. I don't post a whole bunch of crazy stuff up there, because I don't want to overwhelm everybody. I post on my personal page about Posh probably once or twice a month, and it's usually more personal posts where it's me and my daughter and we're using a product that we love, or I might have gotten sunburned and I share it there. If we have a super duper crazy amazing sale, then I will share that on my personal page too from time to time, but most of the time I use my business page and my VIP pages. A helpful tip if you have both is I usually post to my business page and then share my business page posts to my VIP group. The reason for that is because it boosts your page views on your business page, and that actually helps to get your page seen by more people, because Facebook is crazy and has all these random algorithms and all this stuff that you have to do if you want to be seen. And so if I do that, and I share the post, that it gets the views up, and it makes the page more credible in Facebook's eyes. And so more people see it, more people see my posts. and more people get involved. So that's one way to help kind of increase your social media influence. Obviously, you also want to be using other platforms like Instagram. Those are great and often very unused. I know Amanda uses Instagram a lot. I'm not as good at that. I probably should be. I keep trying to work on it. And they have the option to do these cute, short little videos too, which is great because those are an awesome aspect to be incorporating in your business. Getting your presence known and increasing your circle, or expanding your circle and increasing your outreach are kind of the main goals that you want to look at when you're first starting. Is how many people can I posh? How much posh can I get on people? That will always be your best tool. Even when you have, limited funds and you're on a short budget and you just started out and you're trying to hit your props goals because you want all those goodies and you want those perks and you want to get them to make sure you can get some awesome stuff for yourself or for your business. The best way to kind of expand your outreach is just to sit down and think, okay, do a frank list. And a frank list is friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and kids. I think that's what it stands for. That's what it stands for to me anyway. That might not be true, but you sit down and write down a list of, who are my friends that don't know about Posh? Who can I tell? Who are my relatives that I have, family members that I can send some Posh to and say, hey, you deserve to be pampered. I want you to check these products out. Who are people, that maybe are on my Facebook, but I haven't talked to in a while. Maybe I want to message them and say, hey, how are you doing? What's up? And then, work in Posh into that conversation. I'm not one to kind of cold call, if you will, or cold message where I'll just send a messages. Just, hey, oh my gosh, we haven't talked in forever. I just started this new business. You should check it out. Some people do that and it can work sometimes. But I like to be more personal in my messages, and I think that gets a better return anyway. So I usually message them, and I will be a little bit of a Facebook stalker first. Like I'll check, if I haven't seen them in my newsfeed in a while, I'll check their Facebook and be like, what have they been up to lately? And then I'll message them and be like, hey, how are you? How was your trip to such and such? Did you have a good time? And, start a conversation that way. And then work in, after we've had a chance to catch up. Oh, yeah, by the way, I have some awesome pampering products. I'd really love to share them with you. And if you don't mind, let me just get your address and I'll send them out to you and you can give them a try. And then let me know what you think. Something simple. It doesn't have to be real complicated. Sometimes I might ask them, hey, do you want to throw a party? I'll send you this hosting kit. You'll get all these pampering products to try and you can win some free stuff. It'll be fun. Just depends on the person, how well I know them, how comfortable I am with them. And sometimes I push myself to push outside that comfort zone, and that's kind of what we have to do in order to grow and in order to be successful is you have to know what your limit is and then endeavor to push past it. Because it's when we jump outside of our comfort zones that we often end up making the best out of our business. Great things happen when you push past those limits that we kind of put on ourselves. Another way to really get your business going and expand your circle is to do kind of a pamper it forward. When I send someone some samples, I always send a sample for them and I send a sample for them to share. And I just put a little note, here's one to share with your friend. And I put, 2 business cards in there so that they have that information to share on with a friend. Usually I make the samples the same so they're not tempted to keep it and they actually, pamper it forward. And then I also will do that on my VIP page. I have a graphic. I'll have to try to find it and post it up there. It's in one of my folders because it's on my VIP page somewhere. And usually what I do is pamper it for Friday. And I post that up on my VIP page. And I'll put it on my business page too. And it just basically says, do you know somebody who needs some pampering or who deserves some pampering? So most of the people on my VIP page already have gotten plenty of samples from me. They order from me often. They know who I am. And I'll ask them if anybody in their circle of friends, you know, could really use some pampering. Maybe they haven't tried Posh yet and they think they might like it. Or maybe they've just had a baby and they deserve some extra pampering, or just moved, or have had some kind of life event and they think, you know what, I really think they could really use a special little pick-me-up. And so then I say, okay, well, let me know if you know somebody, and, you know, comment below, and I'll message them and say, okay, just send me their mailing address, and I'll send them a little note and let them know that you were thinking of them, and send them like this little sample pack. And so normally I'll ask the person who's referring them a few questions like, hey, do you know if there's anything in particular that they would really like? Like, do they really like hand creams, or do they like body stuff, or do they like face stuff? And then I'll try to tailor it as much as I can. Did someone have a question? No? Okay. It might have just been me hearing things. So then, you know, I'll get their information and I'll send them a little sample pack, you know, with usually my sample packs, I know a lot of people are like, send 5 to 6 samples. I usually do like sets of 3, and mine are normally like a mini facial, or a mini mani, or a mini pedi, you know, or a body kit. And when I focus those items around is, you know, the facial will usually have a face wash, a moisturizer, and a mask. Hands and feet will usually have a scrub. I did Cuticle Cutie, and then I have Schwanky and Soft right now, which is what I've been using for feet. I was so happy when they put those in the portal. And then I'll do a hand cream for the manis to go along with the Cuticle Cutie and the scrub. And then for body, usually I do a body scrub, a chunk, and a lotion. So it has one of those 3. And sometimes I might do Snarky instead of body scrub, or Snarky instead of chunk, and mix it out, one exfoliant kind of thing. And just put a little note in there. I have pre-made facial ones, but I don't have pre-made ones for the other ones. I normally just handwrite a little note that says, hey, this is a body kit, and here's how you use these products in what order. I should really type one up and save myself some time, but it's on my to-do list. But it doesn't have to be, you know, fancy. If you have time to type it up and print it out, awesome. If not, a handwritten note, sometimes people appreciate that a lot more than, you know, this pre-made kind of graphic that you print out and tape everything to. And then I put in also, I always have a handwritten note in there that says, hey, such and such was thinking of you and thought you could use a little pick-me-up. Here's some pampering products to help you take time for yourself, because you deserve it. And then I always sign everything with Happy Poshing and my name. That's kind of my closing for everything, is Happy Poshing. I tell that on my VIP page. Picking some kind of slogan that works good for you. I'm pretty sure that's pretty generic. A lot of people probably say it, but my customers have come to expect that sign off from me, and so that's what I do. Let's see, what else? And I don't know. Did Frank Glass, Pampered Forward. Another great one is Posh the USA. That one is like more of an ongoing thing that you can continually do, where you can post in your VIP group and your business page about trying to basically get sample packs out to everybody in the USA, and you kind of keep track on a map all the different places that you have sent samples to. So that one can be pretty fun and exciting as well. I think they talked about that in Tuesday training this week too. There's a huge video that was like 15 minutes long that was on successful sampling, and they talked about that. So you might want to check that out. Lastly, I just want to say, no, I do not send a catalog every time. I probably could because I have a ton of catalogs, but normally when I send sample packs, I send our What's Inside That Matters flyer and our, I use the flyers instead because they don't weigh as much, so then my shipping's not as bad. I know. So if they ask for a catalog, then I totally send them a catalog. If I'm doing the Pampering Forward where somebody's referring them, I'll send a catalog. But when I'm just doing regular sample packs, then usually I just do the opportunity or what's inside flyers. Yeah, they are awesome. And let's see. And then I always put a business card in there and usually a perks card, you know, that has information about the perks. I have small ones that I had made on Visa print that are like business card size, and then I have the actual 4x6 perks cards that we get in our Posh boxes. I put those in the bigger packs with the catalogs just to highlight the perks program. And oh, the really big one that I forgot to talk about. You will hear many people say the fortune isn't in the follow-up. Follow-up is essential, so keeping track of everything goes along with that. So when you're first starting out, it's overwhelming. There's a lot going on. You're trying to get as much product out there as you possibly can. But there is a difference between just throwing samples out there and successful sampling. Like I mentioned before, there's a whole video, lots of videos actually, in Tuesday Training and on Posh Talk, all over the place about successful sampling, so I'm not really going to go over with all the details of that. But tracking and following up with people is really important. And whether you track on your computer using an Excel sheet, or if you track by printing out our customer tracker and just handwriting everything down, you really want to make sure you write all that stuff down and what samples you sent to them, so that when you do go back to follow up, you can say, oh, hey, how did you like that sample of we put the lime in the coconut? So you know exactly what you gave them, because once you start to get a lot of customers, it's super hard to remember what you sent to who and how long ago, and yeah, just write it down or type it into an Excel sheet. I started out writing mine down because that's what worked best for me then. Now I copy and paste everything into an Excel sheet and I keep it all there because it's much easier to sort and organize. And I go back and I contact my customers. When I first send samples out, I usually follow up with them. Normally, sample packs for me take about 3 to 5 days to arrive, so I normally plan to follow up with them 1 week after I send the samples and say, hey, did you get your samples? Have you had a chance to try them? If they have, then we chat about it. Then I'll follow up again with them probably in a couple weeks if they haven't placed an order. If they do place an order, then I immediately send them a message and say thanks for ordering. I'll also send them a handwritten thank you note. I use the postcards. Postage for postcards is a lot cheaper. Sometimes if it's a big order, then I'll actually send them a card with an extra sample in it of something new they haven't tried. I like to do that too because then it gets a new product in front of them for them to try and fall in love with and have to order again. But yeah, keeping track of those things, following up, and having them in one place so that you can look through. Because then I like to go back through and when a catalog change comes up, I go crazy messaging everybody, even if they haven't ordered from me. I'm like, we have a new catalog. Who wants samples? And try to get them interested in buying a new product. I do have stock. For my stock, I focus on chunks, hand creams, and lip balms, and bath salts. And the reason why I do that in the bath bombs, and we have them, so that I can do Posh to Meet You sets. And I let people pick with the Posh to Meet You set. They can either do a lip balm chunk and hand cream, or they can do a bath salt chunk and hand cream, or they can do a bath bomb chunk and hand cream. So I give them the chance to mix it up. And I offer that special usually on my VIP page, and then I offer it at all my vendor events when I do those. I I also stock up on lip scrubs. And that's just because I personally love the lip scrubs. I love, love, love them. And I always end up selling them so fast at my vendor events because I'm like, every person who walks by my table, I'm like, oh my gosh, you have to try this lip scrub. You want to try my lip scrub? Like, I make everybody try. I'm like, you're going to love it. It's going to be amazing. So I definitely stock up on those. What else do I have? I do have some body scrubs and some Skin Delicious, but only because I picked those up over time when they were on sale. I don't think I have a whole lot of current stock when it comes to those. If I'm going to host a party, then I'll get some extra stuff, like an in-home party. I usually don't have very many facial items with me, and that's just me personally. I like to save those for one-on-ones. So I do have stock of masks and a couple face washes, and I've accumulated those over the course of a year, like buying one here and there. And then I'd use those when I go to one-on-ones and try to make that a more personal experience. That way, when I'm at a vendor event and I'm like, oh yeah, I have the general stuff here. I have chunks, and I have lip balms, and I have hand creams, and I have the lip scrubs. But if you want a more personalized experience, we can book a party, and or we can do a one-on-one, and I can show you my facial products that I have. And we can do a mini facial at your house or at my house or somewhere, whatever's comfortable for them. And so then I'm like, okay, here's this option. So instead of showing every single product I have at once and overwhelming them, because we have a lot of products to offer, I kind of stick to some basics. I do have Snarky bars too. I like to have the Snarky bars because I enjoy the Snarky bar. So I sell it well. So normally on my table, besides just the Posh to meet you stuff, I have a couple of items on stock that are items that I absolutely love because I know I'll sell them. I know they're going to move quickly because I love them so much. I know I can convince people that they should try them and buy them. So it might not be a Snarky bar for you. It could be, a skin stick or one of our face creams, whatever it is that you're absolutely in love with and passionate about. Then try to have a couple of those available for people to buy because your enthusiasm will make them want to buy it. Yeah, that's my tidbit on the vendor and stock. And I always purchase my stock when we have sales, like the skin sticks that are on sale for $10, and like when the Bahama Berry lip scrubs went on sale, I snapped those up super quick. I'm so excited for that. So yeah, I keep an eye out for sales. I generally only buy stock when I can get the best deal out of it, unless, like I said, I have a party that's booked and I need to get it. And I'm pretty sure that Skype. Pretty sure Zoom is going to kick me off soon because it says I have less than 1 minute left. Any questions?
Thank you very much for coming on tonight. You had really great ideas. I was over here like, oh, that is a really good idea, especially like about the pampering it forward, and then the fact that you do the same so that you make sure that they give it to somebody. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I didn't know I wasn't the only one who did. They actually talked about that in Tuesday training today. I was like, oh yeah.